Fighters tap out suddenly because they've learned to respect the fine line between being in danger and being done. In MMA, that line can vanish in a second. One moment you're defending, the next your arm is hyperextended, your knees twisting, or your brain seconds away from shutting down. That tap, it's not weakness, it's calculated survival. A lot of people watching from the outside assume tapping is about pain. But pain is just one part of the equation. And it's not even the most important. Most trained fighters can handle insane amounts of pain. What they can't afford is a snapped joint, a torn ligament, or losing consciousness. Tapping is the fighter's version of saying, "You got me," before something permanent happens. Let's talk chokes first. When a blood choke is applied properly, like a rear naked choke or a triangle, it compresses the carotid arteries and limits oxygen to the brain. This isn't about air, it's about circulation. Within 5 to 10 seconds, the lights can go out. Fighters feel it coming, the tunnel vision, the dizziness, the silence. So they tap. Not because it hurts, but because they know their brain is seconds away from shutting down. It looks sudden from the outside, but inside that fighter's head, it's panic and precision all at once. Then there are the submissions that target limbs, arm bars, kimuras, heel hooks. These aren't just painful, they're destructive. Once a joint is fully locked in and your opponent starts cranking, you have maybe half a second before something snaps. That's why you'll sometimes see a fighter tap as soon as they feel the hold tighten, before it even looks deep to the audience. They're not being dramatic. They've just been there before, and they know exactly what that pop feels like and what it costs. And here's something casual fans don't always realize. Sometimes a fighter taps from position alone. No choke, no lock, just total exhaustion, overwhelming pressure, no way out. Being mounted and pounded with no energy left to defend, that can be the loneliest place in the world. You're not just physically stuck, you're mentally done. And if a ref doesn't stop it, some fighters will tap to save themselves from unnecessary damage. It's rare, but it happens. There's also the psychological tap, the silent kind. A fighter goes in confident, but then things spiral fast. They gas out. They get rocked. They feel like everything they trained for isn't working. And when that feeling sets in, like you're drowning and there's no lifeline, the tap becomes more than physical. It's the brain hitting the brakes. What makes it all more intense is that MMA is so fast, so unforgiving. There's no timeout, no reset button. Everything can flip in one mistake. That's why tapping suddenly is often the correct response. It's not that the fighter gave up too early. It's that they had the awareness to know exactly when it was over. And if they don't, that's when arms get broken. Knees explode, fighters go unconscious, careers change. Tapping out might look like quitting to someone on their couch, but inside the cage, it's actually a sign of control. A fighter who knows when to tap is one who's lived through enough war to understand. There's no shame in surviving, because in MMA, tapping out isn't losing, it's staying smart enough and humble enough to fight again.